To this point, we've learned a lot about how to get CSS into our web pages in order to modify the look and feel of our pages as well as the layout. Now we're going to talk about the different ways in order to apply CSS to elements in our HTML document. And to start off, we're going to focus on what are called type selectors. Now type selectors, you can pretty much think of them as CSS queries or selectors that tell CSS how to go through the web page and what to find, is pretty much what selectors are all about. In other words, they tell CSS what to look for in the web page, in the HTML document, and how to get to those specific elements. It's kind of a step-by-step instruction set on how to get to the element that we are trying to style. The easiest selector that there is the type selector. And by type, what we're really referring to are HTML elements. So section, div, UL, H1, LI, A tags. Doesn't really matter what tag, as long as it is a visible HTML tag, we'll be able to do a type selector for it. Now you've already experienced type selectors in the last couple of CSS videos because we've actually used a type selector in order to select all H2 tags inside of our HTML document in order to change the color from black to this slate gray that we've been using. And this is just a simple example of a type selector. And as long, like I said, as long as it is a tag in our HTML document, we can select it using a type selector. So we've already covered all H2 tags. We have an H4 in here, and then we have an H1. So let's go ahead and select H1. I'm going to put it at the top because it has higher priority than my H2. So H2, and we're going to say the color of an H1 tag needs to be a little more, it needs to have more presence than an H2 tag. So what color would make it more visually, or what would raise it in the visual hierarchy in the document? Let's go with maybe a yellow-green. Picking some really ugly colors, but we're doing that in order to make sure we can really see that things are being altered in the page. Probably not colors we'd choose in our regular web development. All right, so we've got a dark slate gray for our for our H2s. We've got this green, yellow-green for our H1s. And then we did see on our home page, we have an H3 right there. We go look at this. Oh, it's an H4. We've got ourselves an H4 right here. So what color would we want an H4 to be in order to make sure it's a little bit more muted, in order to make sure that it's not quite as important in the hierarchy? And let's just use a gray color and see what that looks like. There we go. As you can see, using type selectors allows us to simply attack different element types within our HTML document and apply property changes to them through CSS. And just to make sure we're 100% clear, when we do this, we are asking CSS to get every single element of that type and change it to that particular look and feel. As we get into more complex CSS, we will learn how to begin to narrow our selections down to a subset of tags or to a very specific tag that we may need to alter the look and feel for very specific reasons. For now, we're doing generic styling. So here you can generically style all elements of a specific element type using type selectors.